What is up, guys? Welcome to my first, live stream post-episode discussion of Gotham Season 4, Episode 1, Pax Penguina. If you are watching this afterwards, don't worry if you missed the live stream. This, count this as a, sort of episode review discussion of the first episode of Gotham Season 4, but the highlight of this is how I can interact with you guys at the same time as talking about it, which is what I kind of like, and I'm going to try it out for a couple of weeks. If it goes okay, it goes okay. It just makes it easier for me in terms of, my work for my hands, so I don't have to do lots of editing. Sorry about that noise. But yeah, no, this will be spoilers for the Gotham Season 4 Episode 1, by the way. So if you do not want to be spoiled for anything that happens in the episode, please do not stay in this stream. Maybe come back to it after you've seen the episode, or if you've seen an episode recap online, anything like that, then obviously stay and watch the stream. But what if you have seen the first episode, let me know right now. My favorite, like, when it first started off, it started off with Bruce. I've made a few notes. Starts off straight with Bruce being sort of Batman overlooking the city, and I thought that was, a really good way to start it off. The cinematography in this episode was amazing. That's one thing I did see coming out of it quite a lot. Loads of people saying just the way it was filmed was really cool. And I have to admit, that first, scene with Bruce overlooking the city was just really, really epic. And it really does sort of foreshadow the whole Batman scanning the city left, right, and center. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Riddler gets free. I don't know about that. Well, maybe they kind of did tease that towards the end with Ivy. Who's your favorite character? Love your videos. I would say, like, it's coming on Harvey Bullock, apart from, obviously Jerome coming in every now and again. But yeah, I know not many people can watch this stream at this current time, because obviously some people might be working, some people might be in school, some people might be doing this, that, and the other. But either way, Ryan Smith says, I thought the way Jonathan Crane became Scarecrow was badass. Now that does lead me on to say, in previous reviews and discussions or breakdowns, I've said Scarecrow's thugs. Those guys who were going around. Danny Cannon released a photo, and they were going around with a fear gas. But we learned in episode 1, Pax Penguina, that they technically are Scarecrow's thugs, but they're not like his henchmen. They basically wanted to go and get Jonathan Crane's fear toxin, because they know his father was all about, we all know Jonathan Crane's father. He's the one who technically made the formula for the fear gas. So yeah, these thugs wanted to take advantage of that, but the way Jonathan became Scarecrow in this episode was brilliant. He was basically absorbed, like, by the Scarecrow. He was completely transformed by his fear and became a new persona. Because during the episode, I felt kind of really sorry for Jonathan, because he was still kind of himself, but post fear toxin, he was constantly in fear. Like, his fear levels were sky high. But those like thugs, I would just call them thugs, were constantly kind of abusing him, like just sending him straight into that Scarecrow that was at Jonathan Crane's house from back in season 1. And that was just really, I a couple of times it's like, please don't do it, and he's screaming. And they just, that's what actually indirectly caused the origin, the official origin in the Gotham universe of Scarecrow becoming a Scarecrow, because then he was just like, after being locked in a freaking cupboard with a Scarecrow, it became consumed by him completely, and he was just like, Jonathan Crane isn't here anymore, and because he is, somebody else now, and that's what I love. They really did set that story up in this first episode. Absolutely amazing. I didn't rush into it. Jonathan was completely crippled by the fear, and he didn't really want to help them, but he felt like he had to. They were taking complete advantage of him, etc., etc. So when he became consumed by the Scarecrow, that was, really fitting, especially how he got a bit of revenge on those thugs who were completely manipulating and taking advantage of, his mental situation and whatnot. Aaron Smith, hey Boba, it was beautiful. What do you think of Bruce becoming Batman? Well, so yeah, in this episode, there was quite a few things I've noted down as well, in terms of Bruce being Batman, or like his Batman thing. So, Bruce in gym, that scene with Bruce in gym in the episode, when he was in the GCPD, and that's something I believe I got wrong in my breakdown quite a while ago before this. I find the voice was a little weird, to be honest. It reminds me of the Arkham sort of Scarecrow. But no, yeah, I actually kind of like the voice. But back to Jim and Bruce. There was a photo that came out of Bruce actually in the GCPD. And I didn't know where it could possibly be. But I know other YouTubers did say it was, Jim talking to Bruce. And this scene really made me happy. It was a really good fan service. It was a very good foreshadowing. Because in that scene with Bruce talking to Jim, Jim doesn't really know like how Bruce is inadvertently helping him by saying, oh, I found this crime licensing sort of ticket and I believe this is this. And then Jim's like, oh yeah, I think this could connect to this. And Bruce is like, yeah. And it's just kind of like them. All I saw is Batman and Commissioner Gordon in that moment. But obviously it's a young teasing of that, and I thought that was really, 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 really cool. And then just to top it all off, at the end of that scene, Jim sort of turns around to say something else to Bruce, and then he's just gone, sort of like Batman style. And I just thought that's really cool. But in the future, if Jim doesn't know who Batman is, when he usually doesn't at the beginning, maybe he does eventually. It's kind of obvious in the future when Batman disappears just like that. He might think back to Bruce disappearing like that and like put the two dots together, but no, this is comic book logic. It doesn't work out that way. So let me answer a couple of other questions in the comment section, the live chat that is. What do you think they would do with Barbara? Well, I was actually kind of confused. Not confused, I was kind of surprised that they didn't include Barbara in the first episode. I really thought, because we did see Ra's al Ghul, that's something I forgot to mention with that first scene. We saw Ra's al Ghul being a bit creepy, and sort of like looking at Bruce being like all badass and like sort of stepping into his vigilantism, and he was just like, oh, that's my boy, basically. We all know how he wants Bruce to be his heir, blah blah blah. But no, I thought that we might get the not like heavy Barbara in this episode, but I thought that we at least get honestly like a 25 to 30 second scene of Ra's al Ghul resurrecting Barbara in the Lazarus pit, which is rumored to be a thing. So I thought that would be a thing, but it wasn't. We only actually saw Ra's that one time towards the beginning of the episode. To all the people saying you got to go to school, I'm sorry, but yeah, you got to go to school. Thank you for joining the stream anyway. We got 25 people in here, which is awesome. Aaron Smith says, loving the actual plot development from Virus, bringing the city to its knees, Penguin takes control, legalizes crime, people resisting and getting Crane's help. Now Crane is a Scarecrow. No, I completely agree with you, Aaron. Gotham are really coming into their own, and I think this season is going to be their most successful season yet, just because, holy crap, they've got so much going for them right now in terms of story. I do admit I thought it was maybe a bit premature of Batman, but maybe that's because it's already the Bruce Batman vigilante business. But I think that is towards the end of last season, they did maybe feel like they wanted to put a couple of things in case they didn't get renewed. But lo and behold, they did. So now they're paying it off with what they started towards the end of last season. And holy crap, this first episode was amazing. Ryan Smith says, I liked how Bruce just disappeared when he was talking to Gordon, classic Batman. Yep, that is exactly what I said a few minutes ago. I completely agree. Bruce and Selina didn't seem so hostile for the first time in forever, so I want to touch on that as well. During the Iceberg Lounge opening, well, we got teasers from this in the trailer and promo photos of Bruce and Selina on the roof of the Iceberg Lounge, which was the former Sirens Bar, which we learned it is actually the Sirens Bar in this episode because, people were wondering if the Iceberg Lounge was going to be in a different location, but no, Penguin seized it from Tabitha and Barbara, but technically, Barbara met her end at the end of last season. But, no, yeah, so they were going up there, and they kind of actually, I really didn't expect this, and I don't think a lot of people expected it either. But they, a lot of, Bruce and Selina actually worked it out. Like, Selina was like, yeah, you were being like a jerk or something like that, which, Bruce, apologized. So this kind of might set up what I believe might happen in a few episodes' time. Well, maybe 4 or 5 episodes' time. Well, 3 to 5 episodes' time, I'll say. With Bruce going out in his vigilante gear. With Selina kind of assisting him. And, you know, don't get me wrong, Selina and Bruce's relationship, even though they kind of made up during this episode, will always be a rocky one, you know, and that's just the nature between Batman and Catwoman. But I think, you know, for the next few episodes, they're not going to be like, oh, I don't like you anymore, I'm not going to talk to you, you know, high school drama kind of stuff. But yes, Pumpkin Squad, I want to touch on this as well. Also said, Ivy will definitely be the one to free Riddler. Now, lo and behold, we were all kind of correct in guessing that Ivy was the one to pull down the lever to the power. And, you know, because she was just basically like, screw you, Penguin. And this is what went wrong in Penguin's opening of his Iceberg Lounge. He was making an example of the people... Jonathan Crane's basically squad, but they're not really a squad technically. They were just using him for the fear toxin, but he wanted to make an example of them because they weren't using a license for crime, and I'll get to that in a second. And she pulled the power, and basically Penguin got fear gassed, as we saw from the trailers, and he saw Riddler. But the thing is, I don't think this is the instance that will free Riddler. Like, yeah, technically the lights went off, maybe some of the power went out, but, you know, the GCPD came in and sort of seized the day, so I don't think, you know, they'd leave Riddler melting over there. So I think, you know, I think that might be a separate instance, but I think it still might be Ivy, considering she was the one solely responsible for screwing all of that up. Just to let you guys know as well, this live stream isn't going to go for super long. I kind of want to leave it at sort of a live... no, so I kind of want to leave it at like a episode breakdown sort of thing. Let me add that to the title. So, do you think the Riddler would be out of ice by the next episode? I think it will happen very soon. So yes, I do believe... Kendra, that could be a possibility, because we know that Riddler will get out pretty soon, but due to like the filming way back when they were filming these episodes, he will meet Solomon Grundy, they will become best mates, blah 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 blah. What's going to happen with Jim and Scarecrow? Well, Jim is going to get closer and closer to finding out, especially after at the end of this episode, due to what happened. You know, he's going to realize that it's Jonathan Crane. Now, as I sort of touched on earlier, I felt sorry for Jonathan Crane. I'm not going to repeat myself. But, yeah, he is that innocent boy who was scared of everything, I believe, is now completely more or less gone. Maybe he's locked in there a little bit, but he is completely gone, split personality, and has been consumed by the Scarecrow. Almost to the point where his fear got way too much, and it imploded into this new personality. And that's when we saw it at the end of the episode, when he was just like, Jonathan Crane isn't here anymore, it's just the Scarecrow. But let's see what else we got. No, yeah, so Selina and Tabitha training. We saw in the trailers for Gotham Season 4 that, you know, we saw Selina kicking ass. And we all speculated as well that... You know, this is... I expected Tabitha to be walking around the corner and, you know, basically... Because it didn't make sense for Selina in the trailer just to be walking down an alleyway, knowing thugs are down there, and just like... Oh, please don't hurt me. You know, it was blatantly to get their attention and kick their ass. And Selina is doing that. And I can't wait for her to get the new teased Catwoman suit that we saw in the Gotham Season 4 trailer. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to answer a couple more questions now. Who was your favorite character in this episode? I think I would have to say Jonathan Crane. His acting was on point. I really like Zaz. Harvey made me laugh as always. It was just very good. Let's see who else. Would have liked a 30-second scene of Penguin going to Ivy after his moment with Icy Riddler and asking what's up. Show that he's developed. No, yeah, I definitely agree. Do you think Holiday is coming in Gotham? Now, this is interesting because John Stevens did say they are doing the Long Halloween storyline, and if you're not familiar with the Long Halloween comic book, it's about this killer named Holiday going around and killing people on, like, you know, the holiday season, sort of like Halloween and stuff like that, and mainly after the powerful families in Gotham like Falcone and blah blah blah. I don't know if they're going to translate it that much to the show. Like, I've always preached this before, like, they don't, just because they say they're doing some things or comic book storylines, it really doesn't mean that they're going to copy and paste it on the show. They'll wean it in with different things. But Sophia Falcone is in the Long Halloween storyline, so she's coming to Gotham season 4. So they do bring some bits over. Like, you know, don't worry about that. Let's have a look at some more of my notes. Oh yes, so it was quite interesting seeing, you know, who Penguin was talking to in that trailer that one time. We saw Penguin talking to like these guys who looked very government-y, if that makes sense. And we learned that it's actually the mayor, like, and we also learned that it was the commissioner of police. And they're basically going along with Penguin's new licensing for crime thing. So if you want to rob a bank, go to Penguin, request a license. Basically, kiss the ring of the king, and he might give you something that you can go and do and basically ransack Gotham with. And I can't believe, I mean, I get it, it's very Gotham-y, it's very comic book Gotham-y, but you know, just imagine that being real, like in a city like equivalent to New York or like Chicago or something like that. It's just like allowing something like that to happen is beyond me. But I guess, you know, in this world, things are so corrupt. It's still set in an oldie-timey kind of way, like not proper modern. So it's very corrupt. You know, I guess I could let him get away with it. But I wasn't sure how I felt with just the whole, is this really realistic? I mean, and I'm not one of those people where I say everything has to be realistic. Like, for God damn it, like the Mr. Freeze, his cold gun and stuff like that. So obviously, but I was a bit surprised, not surprised by that, but I was just a bit like, I'm not sure, but it's still really cool. It's very Penguin at the end of the day. He's got everyone in his pocket. When do you think we will see Grundy? I think, man, I was going to say maybe it could be as early as next episode, but I know next episode is, sorry about the mouse cursor, I know next episode is going to be called The Fear Reaper, and it's very, very Scarecrow central. So I don't know if we'll see Grundy in there. I think, I mean, obviously in very heavily plot-focused episodes, like the next episode will be heavily focused on Scarecrow. I know we do still get the occasional side development in that episode, so maybe we will, but I feel like Grundy's too important of a character to just chuck 5, 10, you know, well, maybe like 20 seconds of a scene in a very Scarecrow-heavy centered episode. So I think episode 3 for sure, with Riddler as well, but I'm not so sure about next episode. Best possible, as possible. He cut violent crime by 57% first, showed he has hair control, and it's not much even without licensing his bargaining skills though, yeah. Do you think that Jim Gordon will get a girlfriend anytime soon? So yes, even though Lee is coming back this season, Jim will be having sort of this relationship with Don Falcone's daughter, believe it or not, Sophia Falcone. Now, it's not going to be like an epic love romance, but they're going to be helping each other out. So Sophia's going to be helping Gordon take down the Penguin this season because he goes to Falcone for her help, and Sophia comes back from wherever she, you know, been, and she is just more like her father than Mario ever was. Mario was sort of the odd Falcone of the family. He wanted to be a doctor, even though he did have a bit of grit in him. He is not Sophia Falcone. He is not his father's son, like Sophia is her father's daughter. So yes, Jim's gonna have like a little romance sort of thing with her. Not necessarily even romance, if I call it that, but a dark relationship. And she's gonna bring some things out in Gordon that are, you know, that make him almost cross the ethical line, if that makes sense. So I'm really looking forward to Crystal Reed coming to Gotham. Now she was starring in Teen Wolf, if any of you know that as well. I only watched the first couple of seasons of Teen Wolf. Sorry, I have something in my eye. And yeah. But yeah, welcome to the stream as well. Everybody who's joined. We've got 36 people in the stream right here, right now. If you're watching this afterwards, awesome. I hope you can make it to next week's stream. Don't worry, because, you know, this is still effectively its own video, even if you're not here live. As you see, I'm not always answering the live chat questions. It's more like a discussion, and I will answer some, you know, occasionally. Do you think Alfred wants Bruce to be known and not his vigilante identity? Yeah, I think if Alfred had a say in any of this, even in the comics, he wouldn't want Bruce to be Batman. Like, maybe he would, like, if you really question him, but, like, on the surface, he probably just wants, you know, like how they did it in the Dark Knight films, that how he just really just wanted Bruce to be sat down and have a girlfriend, have a kids maybe, and then at the end he saw Bruce in, I think, France or Paris or wherever, and he was sat across from a lady, and that's all he wanted for him. He wants that for Bruce, but that's never really going to happen. He knows it, so he wants to support Bruce with what he's doing, even though he's kind of against it. So yeah, I think he does want that, but you know. When do you think we will see Bruce's suit in Season 4? I think it will be in the first few episodes, like maybe 5, like 4 or 5, because they've only filmed up to episode 8-ish right now. So you can imagine with all the stuff they put in the trailers before this, it can't be too long before that, before Lucius Fox gives him the suit. Let's see what else we've got. I think I've pretty much gone over most of my stuff, but apart from the very end of the episode, guys, at the very end of the episode, Jim is basically, not Jim, what am I on about? Bruce is on the glass, and he does, this is what I mean, like, Bruce is not, they're not going to show Bruce without making many mistakes. He's going to make quite a few in his vigilante career. See you, Light Slayer, thank you for joining the stream, buddy. And he fell through the glass, just like a rookie noob vigilante. The criminals were there, but and then the GCPD rushed in, and now Bruce is just like, ah, ah. So I don't know how he's gonna get away with this. I really like hope. I'm worried this is gonna happen, but I really hope that Jim isn't aware of this, or like Bruce doesn't get brought in, because to me it's so obvious. Unless Bruce can really spin it well, why the hell would, like, in the future Jim not think Bruce, with his earlier antics of trying to break in and help him be a vigilante, not think he's Batman? So I really hope they spin that in a way, rather than, you know, I really don't want Jim to know that Bruce is a vigilante this season, because I think that is the one thing they definitely shouldn't do. They definitely shouldn't, in this universe, make it so Jim knows Bruce is the vigilante going into Batman before he's even Batman, and knowing it's all happening. I want that to be a surprise for Jim one day when he's Batman. 34 people in the stream. Can we talk about the promo for next episode, Aaron? Well, Aaron, I am, after this stream, which will be in a couple of minutes, I'm going to be doing the episode breakdown. Not the episode breakdown, what the bloody am I on about? I've not got much sleep last night. I'm going to be doing the promo breakdown for episode 2. This is just the post-episode discussion. So, yeah. But, by the way, guys, I am about to end the video in a couple of minutes. So, if you've got any final questions for me, let me know right now. How do you think Jerome's face will look after being professionally attacked? I think it will look fairly similar. It will definitely have scars, of course. But, yeah, I mean, they can't avoid the scars, right? Around the eyes, the side. It's just not going to be as gruesome as it was. That I think, yeah, I think that's what it will be. Do I think that Bane will ever appear in Gotham? I don't think so. It's possible, but I think they could do so many other villains first, and that it's so OP if they did Bane, because all he has to do is get jacked up, whoop, and then like destroy everyone. So like that would be very complicated to resolve. Yeah, I think he will use makeup to cover. I think he'll use makeup to cover those scars for sure, and it would definitely be an explainer for the eyeshadow. But I don't know if they will do it, but I think that's what he will do one day. But everybody, thank you so much for joining the stream. It was very, very fun doing like a live interaction sort of post-episode discussion breakdown. It was really, really cool. I thank you all. I'm going to be doing a promo breakdown in a video form, so I'm not going to be doing it in a live stream. So look out for later for a episode 2 promo or / trailer breakdown. Because who doesn't want to get excited for episode 2 of season 4 of Gotham? Thank you all once more. I really appreciate your support. It really means the absolute world to me. This video will be made public afterwards, so we can watch it all again, or people who didn't join the stream can watch it. I really appreciate everybody's support. I've already said that probably about 3 times. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make the promo breakdown now, guys. So thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which is the episode 2 promo breakdown. Goodbye.